CEI continuing to move in our implied path. I do see a continuation to the downside. Let's go ahead and verify exactly how that is possible. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by on this fine Thursday night. This is ARCa coming at you with the CEI technicals, raw price action, maybe some statistical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so yes, we're looking at CEI in the 6-hour chart, and this is that very complex breakout we've been looking at for quite some time now. So this is the descending channel, and we do actually have a broadening descending wedge in play as well, something that we actually caught during the first analysis. Okay, so we did notice that we were amongst the test 3. Okay, so when we are presented this test 3, short sellers are signaled. Okay, usually test 3 presents the biggest capitulatory event. Okay, so this can actually send us straight to the downside, and it has since done that exactly. Okay, you guys, so now the overall target that I keep on mentioning to people that I continuously get you know, some trash over is actually that 219 level. Okay, so why is that 219 level relevant? Well, first of all, it is the very bottom of the support from our broadening descending wedge, which would actually be ideal for us to touch one more time. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's going to go there. It's just my bias is leaning towards it, and it's been leaning towards it for several days now. Okay, so we are looking at the 1.618 in direct confluence. Let me go ahead and just draw a trend line there for you so you can actually see how exact that is right there. Okay, so if it is going to follow that, there's a potential that we can actually face a type of upside right now to confirm or to validate the newly converted support into now resistance from the channel. Okay, in failing this channel, we could then make that move to the downside. Shorts will essentially cover at this position or a wick low of it, and then we can continue on to the upside. Okay, so usually that's how the playbook rules go in trading this type of formation. Okay, so now if you are curious and to know where that formation can actually take us to, that target can be found right at the genesis of the formation itself. Okay, so if we were to play this by the playbook rules, okay, we are looking at a target of about $12.03 after we can make some validations and confirmations of our support down here. Okay, so it is not going to be a straight shot up here. In fact, it is going to take days and days for us to be able to fulfill that upside target. And that, I'm talking about if we're not applying psychological components like FOMO and or what is it, like yeah, actually it would just be FOMO or panic buying. You know what I mean? So definitely don't do that. Definitely don't feel like you need to buy because you are going to miss the opportunity in getting rich. Okay, so these opportunities present themselves all the time in the markets. Sure, you may get 4 or 5 days where you don't get a play, but that's the real life of a trader. Okay, so if we're looking at good plays, we're looking at a good grade in plays. We got to make sure to practice some patience, make sure to do our homework, our DD, and then we would be set up for a future play. Okay, you guys. So in this case, yes, I am still looking at a potential drop to that lowest level, which could actually be that $2.19 zone. We can also load some SMAs to see just how. Okay, well, literally in the 6-hour time frame, we actually have every single moving average known to mankind above us. So this is actually pretty bearish. Okay, you guys, and I mean, it also doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at these formations or look at those candles and suggest a continuation to the downside. This is literally bloody. Okay, you guys, we got to watch out. We got to watch out. Make sure to practice risk management. All right, so let's go ahead and block out those SMAs and actually load up some indicators. So we're going to actually look at the ARC-Series Crypstex indicators. And those indicators are actually, I've been endorsed by Crypstex Trading since they believe in my trading, they believe in my strategy, and they actually want to help me out. And they have given me some awesome tools to use for that strategy. Okay, so in this case, we are looking at a statistical type of indicator, which actually takes a cumulative score from every single candle printed throughout the entire trading history of the asset's particular time time frame. Okay, so we are in the 6-hour time frame, and DBSI has essentially measured every single candle here, and thus it gives us a score located right up here. Okay, so that score is percentage based. Very simple for us to understand what's going on. Okay, so you can see very clearly in the 6-hour time frame that the bears are at 63% leading the way. Bulls are sitting at 37%. Okay, another thing to notice here is that we are at resistance from the low of this prior candle, which is on December 16th, 2022. Okay, so that reversal candle is what we're looking at as resistance at the moment, and the descending channels newly converted support into now resistance. So we do have a couple things against us in the price action. Okay, so we could actually load up one more indicator so that we can actually get a deeper bias. Okay, so this is ARC Armor. It is also part of the ARC-Series indicator set that you can receive actually by sending me a DM. I will be able to give you instructions as to how to acquire these indicators. Okay, so this indicator is comprised of several exponential moving averages. They're all placed very close in proximity to each other algorithmically within the chart, and in those directional waves we're provided with buy and sell signals. So in this case we're looking at we're looking at a sell signal printed on December 20th, very aggressive here, and it has since continued that path to the downside. And as you can see, we haven't gotten a long signal here. For example, this long suggested here, it went massively to the upside, and it actually caught it at this point here before it capitulated anymore, saving some gains, right? So this could have been a stop loss point, which is natural since the stop loss is actually suggested to be right at this the resistance range of the channel. So yes, in this case, it fired that short signal, and it's yet to recover with a long signal. Okay, so it's still honoring the downside. Okay, so please remember, if you are interested in acquiring these indicators, please just send me a DM and we'll go over those details. Also, I'm going to mention right now, just know that it is not the same as purchasing a subscription with TradingView software. Okay, so TradingView has their own subscription set. Crypstex is actually an authorized retailer within TradingView. Okay, you guys, so they do have the permissions to sell within TradingView, or actually through us, but this is actually something that you do have to know. Okay, just because you start a subscription with TradingView does not mean you will get access to the private list. Okay, you guys, you definitely have to talk to me, you definitely have to talk to me about the subscription access. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. So yes, this is actually the other reason I was giving you that downside. Okay, you guys, so this candle is a monthly candle. Since we're in the monthly chart, it is set to close in about 6 days, 18 hours, or 7 days, 16 hours, somewhere around 18 hours. 7 days and 18 hours it'll close. Okay, so it's still forever away. Okay, so first of all, the downside thesis that I'm getting, this is the support range that I'm looking at. Okay, why that support range? Let's see, it is between $2.19 and about $1.41, $1.40, right around there. The reason why I'm suggesting this is, first of all, in order to understand where we're going, we need to first of all, or get an idea as to where we're going, we need to understand the past first. Okay, so from December 2nd, 2019 to June 1st, 2022, we have created what's called a right-angled broadening ascending wedge. Okay, so this right-angled broadening ascending wedge follows the typical golden rule of three of an ascending channel. Okay, so usually after that ascending channel reaches that test number 3, short sellers are actually signaled to open the position there and continue to the downside for a massive gain. Okay, so in doing so, in creating this short position opening, we have created a larger scale, a macro scale bullish setup. Okay, so this bullish setup is actually called a falling wedge. So these falling wedges are usually favored for the upside. They are a type of upside continuation pattern. Okay, so in this case, I am still looking for one more test of the support bottom, which just so happens to be in confluence with the price objective from the right-angled broadening ascending wedge. How was that price objective acquired? Is actually like this. Okay, we can actually take a trend line right from the top of the the top of the wedge where the breakout happened. Okay, so since we know that this is the breakout candle, not this one here, it's actually the one that closed beneath the support. Okay, so that would be our breakout candle. We measure it from the top of the trend to the bottom of the trend, and we apply it to the downside from the newly converted resistance. Okay, so now from the resistance point to down here, you can actually see that's very much in confluence with the bottom of our wedge. And that's why I'm suggesting a continuation to the downside. Now, why the upper end? Well, because the 2-fib is there, $2.12. Okay, you guys, so it's I know it sounds very simple, but it kind of sometimes is. So it is what it is, especially when we're looking at it in the macro perspective. When you're looking at it in the monthly chart, very, very, very much we can guess the direction of the asset and pretty much be right all the time. Okay, so anything under a month or a bi-monthly or quarterly chart, anything below that will actually be random price. Okay, and it would be very much difficult. A lot of math would have to be acquired, or a lot of fundamental knowledge would have to be acquired into knowing what the price direction can be in under a monthly chart. Okay, so just know that that the wedge does have a price objective. Okay, and that price objective actually made me cackle yesterday like a witch. It's actually so funny because it's suggesting a top side of $4,729. I can't believe it's still making me laugh. Okay, because it doesn't really seem real. Okay, so first of all, because of the split, because of the split that happened on the first here, on the 21st, right? It's a 1-to-50 ratio. Okay, so it actually changed the entire math of the trade here. We have a high that's pretty much that number there. Okay, so that looks like it's actually let me see. Oh my God. Yeah, that's $15,625,000 all-time high. Cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm not saying that we can't get there. I'm just saying it's highly unlikely. Okay. So it's just astronomical. Anything's possible in the markets, man. Okay. So just be careful with what you do, because if you can see that from here to here, it took, let's see. That is August 21st, September 1st, 2021. To December 2022. It's been a year. Okay, so you're likely going to be waiting years and years and years and years to get to $15 million. Okay, you guys, so definitely watch out with that. It's not even guaranteed that we'll ever go there. Okay, so don't count on that, and also don't count on this $4,000 target. All right, you guys, we got to move one step at a time, especially in these macro perspectives. Okay, let's move on to the next chart. All right, so this is actually the statistical side of the analysis. I am definitely not going to go into some crazy details, as I do have a live stream to go to. This is actually volatility you're looking at, okay, new viewers, represented by BBWP. Volatility is direction neutral. We do actually the best way to use this would probably be stochastic oscillator. So in this case, we're going to use stochastic momentum, which is actually proprietary to TradingView software. The link in the description below actually allows you to sign up to TradingView directly, and using that affiliate link, since I am an accepted affiliate, does help me out in my trading. Okay, you guys. So if you're curious into starting an account, definitely check them out. Okay, you guys. So now. Why I'm saying this is why I'm actually talking about volatility versus momentum here is the fact that we're actually at critical volatility. Usually critical volatility is located anywhere above 90%, which is this yellow trend line. So when we're in this 90 percentile and printing these red bars, actually this red bar represents one 12-hour iteration, since we are in the 12-hour chart. Okay, so, and the fact that it's at critical volatility and this suggesting a continuation to the downside is pretty much guaranteeing a downside. Okay, and I haven't performed the back test for the downside just yet, but I have performed a back test of just the oscillator in several tickers, and I am getting a read of about 75 to 91% in accuracy for guessing the asset's direction. Okay, so this is still suggesting downside. It is approaching oversold. Definitely right at the very bottom of the grips of the bear strength percentile here, so we can definitely definitely continue on to the downside, thus printing more and more 12-hour iterations here, okay? But in actually recovering from this oversold percentile and actually the ending of the expansion phase here and starting a contraction phase here can actually lead this to be a pretty explosive move to the upside. But so far, we are definitely favoring the bears, okay, you guys? Another thing to favor the bears is the fact that we actually did catch a couple days ago several drives of hidden bearish divergence, okay? And it's actually phantom hidden bearish divergence, and that usually happens when the price action has to make a cross through price action from, to get from point A to point B. Okay, so in this case, price action making a series of higher lows, and momentum represented by the RSI, relative strength index, is making a series of either higher highs or higher lows. It just depends on how we're looking at the perspective here. So you can see that there's two variations of the bearish of the bearish divergences, okay, and there are two iterations of the bullish divergences. Okay, you guys, so yeah, and look at the 12-hour chart, just suggesting a continuation onto the downside, which is just crazy. Let's go ahead and open up a multi-pane to get that final narrative for the direction, for price direction. Okay, so we're gonna start it off with the 30-minute time frame. Okay, so new viewers, I actually don't have my diagram loaded today, so I'm gonna explain it to you real fast so you can actually keep up while I talk. Okay, so you are looking at the upper half of the RSI being the bullish control zone and the lower half being the bearish control zone. The inner workings, it can be identified as the weakness percentile, and the outer zones can be identified as the strength percentile. So this upper zone is bullish, the bull strength percentile, and this is, guess what? That's right, the bear strength percentile. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is suggesting a continuation onto the downside. It actually did gravitationally pull from the bear strength percentile. Okay, so if there is a hope here, it would actually be found by bouncing right off of the 14-day moving average, which is this pink line. Okay, the purple line is the RSI signal itself. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly time frame is slightly neutral, but I am favoring the bears because of this sole reason, okay? The RSI signal is sitting very much in the deep areas of the bear strength percentile. Usually when we're in these deep areas here, gravitational pull into the following zone, which is the oversold percentile, is very likely. Okay, so now the 6-hour time frame is suggesting a continuation to the downside as well. You can see that RSI has now made a bearish cross below the moving average, and it's attempting to moving away from the very shallow areas from the bear strength percentile. As we move away from the shallow areas, the gravitational pull becomes stronger and stronger towards the downside. Okay, so there is some mass to that. There is some weight to that, since it is a 6-hour time frame. So the one that I'm actually going to give more favor to is actually the daily time frame. The daily time frame is absolutely within the grips of the bear strength percentile, in which I'm not sure that we can actually bounce off of the 14-day moving average, considering the pivot that it's currently in. Okay, there are iterations to where we have bounced from that moving average, from the grips of the bear strength, okay, but that's not guaranteed every time. As you can see here, we were a little bit higher from the very bottom, from the very deep area, and we actually didn't bounce and failed it, okay? And as you can see, it did use it as a resistance and came right back down. So in this case, it is coming down from a higher area, okay? So the weight here is actually, there's a lot of momentum here. Okay, so the probability of failing this 14-day moving average is pretty high. Okay, you guys, please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment only. I can't suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Okay, I need you to do your own DD and everything will be just fine, you guys. Everything will be good. All right, you guys, we can always talk about this in the Discord, in the Twitter. I know it's getting a little hard for me to reply to everybody, but trust me, I am trying my very best to get to you, okay? So also, if you want to acquire those indicators, please just send me a DM. We'll go over those details. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.